Greetings everyone, welcome back to another episode of On the Mark Archery's 3 for 3. In episode 2 of this beginner series, we're going to be talking about the hook, the grip, and the elbow rotation to help beginner archers understand more of the fundamentals. So starting with the hook, why is it so important? The reason why it's so important is that when you're hooking the string, it's the first and last point of contact that you're going to have with the bow. And obviously the way that you release the shot is going to have a huge impact as to how the arrow actually flies into the target. So you got to make sure that it's in the same spot every single time, and you got to consistently check that nothing changes between shots without you knowing it and doing it deliberately. Two main types of hook common in recurve archery are going to be the hunter's hook and the Olympic hook. Hunter's hook is going to have 3 fingers below, and the Olympic grip will have 1 finger above and 2 underneath the arrow. Now the thumb and pinky, no matter which grip you're doing, no matter what skill level you're doing, you want to try to keep a flat back of the hand. One of the easiest ways to do that is to have the thumb and pinky curled back towards your wrist, almost like you're making like a C shape, and they can be close but not quite touching. So you want to just keep them engaged as you go through the hook. 3 under or 1 up top, 2 under. Thumb and pinky stay stretched back and away, and you'll see that in the quick demo from Coach Winston.
The string, 3 fingers, first on the lines here on your middle finger, and then across the other 2. If you look at my fingers, I kind of like it just a little bit in front of the line there. Just my personal preference. I wouldn't go too far to your tips though. And don't go too deep either, otherwise you'll have trouble getting the string free. So when you're holding the string, long fingers, flat back to the hand to make it a little bit easier for the string to come off your fingers. If you curl your fingers too much, very difficult for that string to come off. So that being said, the next thing we worked on,
you're going to see some incorrect hand positions. We see this a lot when we're training new archers. Try to make sure that you're not pinching the arrow or placing the string too deep, twisting as you're pulling it back. For our introduction to grip, we're going to go over a couple of common mistakes, the angle that your knuckles should be at, and also where the pressure should be on the bow itself. First, the most common thing that we see is people death gripping the bow. So we put a little icon there, a little character for you, the Grim Reaper, to remind you and not to choke the bow. Be aware of that. If you do, the adverse effects would be the bow arm jumping or swiveling, kind of flinching, because there's just too much pressure in the hand. So you might be pushing too much on one side of the bow, you might be pushing too much on the other side, and it could cause it to jump, jerk, or swivel. If you take a look at the diagram here, and we just kind of marked a spot in your hand where we would imagine that radius bone extending into, okay? And that's where you want to actually push and pressure onto the bow. The knuckles on this video here show one archer with 45 degrees compared to the second with 90. Do you see the difference between what happens with the bowstring? Our final section for this lesson consists of the elbow rotation and some tips and tricks to make sure that you don't get hit. A lot of times if you ask people what their camp memories were of archery, they will tell you that they got painfully whacked by the bowstring, and it's happened to me. I'm sure it's happened to you at some point as well. This is caused by hyperextending the arm and keeping it out too straight where the elbow is turned up and it's into the path of the string. In this next video here, you're going to see one of our advanced archers, Amanda, doing a great job rotating her elbow, keeping her shoulders down, low and relaxed, and also keeping a 45-degree grip on the bow with her knuckles there going off the side. Remember, posture can also play a big part. For example, if your shoulders are too high and you're leaning or improperly, maybe you're too high and you're leaning forward too much, you're going to put yourself in the pathway of the string, and you're going to feel that impact, that archery attack too.
Nice. But it got you here, didn't it? It got you, but it was worth it because it was a bullseye. It was worth it. Okay.
I'm so sorry. I got a bullseye.
A little bit of a homework assignment we have assigned for you here. But you do 10 repetitions practicing rotating your elbow. All you need is a door handle or something that you can kind of grip onto, and without moving the hand, you're just going to focus on rotating the elbow, and you're going to see how that's going to move down, and inside when you're gripping the object. Just do that 10 times and then go try it with the bow. See if it makes a difference in your shot. See if you notice much more clearance between the string and your elbow now. Thank you all so much for watching. We greatly appreciate it and would love to hear your feedback in the comments section. Please feel free to share the video and let us know how we can improve. We look forward to having you join us again for another episode of On the Mark Archery's 3 for 3.